What is up? Welcome to Talking Touchdowns, brought to you by Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, joined by no one today so far. I'm not sure where Kurt is, and Tyler should be here soon, but I figure I'd get started. And you know what this means, guys. When it's just me, I'm relying on the chat to make this show fun, which is why I'm always encouraging you to give us the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share with your friends, because on days like today, you know, it's like the bat signal. It's the chat signal, okay? Just like the King's beam that we put in the air. This is the chat signal. I'm going to need you guys to come strong, come with some takes today. Help me out so we can talk some touchdowns here at Run Pure Sports. Let's go ahead and jump on. Hold on. I'm getting a message from Mangone, but this is about the NBA show, right? Cool. Yeah, it's about the NBA show. We're going to have a new guest today because AP's off. But right now, we are talking touchdowns, and let's dive right in. I'm going my lines off Bookmaker right now. The Carolina Panthers are plus 13 in Baltimore, taking on the Ravens. Total of 41.5. Boy, that line seems tough. Let me go ahead. I'm pulling up our NFL Bets playbook right now. I was working on the NBA playbook. So for some Run Pure members, I have all the projections up. I'm still doing the notes and the grades of the team right now. But let's see. Boy, okay. I was thinking this line was a little too much, but my projections actually have this game at 14. Baker's back at QB. That's no good. The Ravens also will be coming off a bye after beating the Saints on Monday Night Football. Roquan Smith is back. You know, I mean, he's not back, but he's part of this Ravens team, and he's been so much to this team. Panthers are 4-13 against the spread in their last 17. Also 0-8 straight up in their last 8 road games. So, you know, obviously the spread, it's tough to lay 13. Originally, I say to take the 13, especially against a Ravens team that, let's be honest, isn't super explosive. Not the most explosive team here, the Baltimore Ravens. But, you know, like I said, Carolina 4-13 against the spread. Total's gone under in 6 of Carolina's last 9 games. And a total of only 41.5 really shows you how this team is struggling to put up points. So Carolina's 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 against Baltimore, but let's go ahead and throw that out, right? Because, I mean, that's going to go back to the Cam Newton days, you know, different coach, different coaching staff here. So that's another tough one. Yeah, they haven't won 8 games on the road here. Let's look at Baltimore. They were 4-1 in their last 5 games. The total's gone over 5 of the last 6 games these teams have played together, but still, like I said, that trend we can throw out. So it's going to be an interesting spot here for this game. But I'll be honest, I don't think it's going to have much of a handle because I don't want to take the Panthers at plus 13. I don't necessarily want to lay it here, even though my projections say that I should. It's only a 1-point edge that I see. I have this game at around 14. It's sitting at 13. And it's not even really teasable here. So let's go ahead and move on. The Philadelphia Eagles are -7, taking on the Indianapolis Colts, total of 45. All right. What a great bounce back opportunity for the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's my concern, right? I would have already hammered this line because, number one, that Indy win is so fraudulent. You beat the Las Vegas Raiders, who are just in absolute shambles right now. And they're going to keep their coach, but it just feels like they've just thrown 2 years away because they're not going to fire McDaniels. But I just don't think he's very good. I just don't think the coach is very good. How does Jeff Saturday walk in off the bench, start Matt Ryan? I mean, come on, Derek Carr. You're getting beat by Matt Ryan, and I know. They told me in the chat, hey, Foster Moreau's dropping passes. The coach doesn't make people drop passes. I just wonder if it's the overall energy around the team. I wonder if McDaniels just isn't a guy that people really get pumped up to play for. The Raiders are continually losing these one-score games. The Colts get the victory. Great story. All the ESPN talking heads, you know, oh, we shouldn't have hired Saturday. Oh, what a joke. What a joke. Well, he gets a win. He's 1-0. So then now he's taking on the Eagles in an obvious get-right spot, right? I mean, this team, they had to be disappointed, but we knew a letdown was coming for this team. We didn't expect them to go 17-0. We thought that they'd do well against Washington, but they lost. And I really thought the injuries had a big part to do with it. Now they added Ndamukong Suh. People, oh, well, that's not that big a deal. I was surprised that he was still on the market for so long. He played excellently in his time in Tampa, and I actually think the Tampa's defense is missing him just a bit. Even if he's not out there making plays and grabbing statistics, he's just eating up blockers, just forcing people to work. And he's just a tough, nasty guy that I don't think the other blockers in the offensive linemen really want to go against here. So I think they can absorb some of the defensive line injuries with that signing. My concern is the offense. Goddard, right? Big part of this offense there. And A.J. Brown was hobbled in that last game. So we're going to wait for the news. We'll go ahead and watch the morning report here on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. Of course, AP, Tambo, my guy JT Hayes. Then they switch into Crane, Big T, Hoop. And then, of course, JSU, Dunkel, and Holden do the Up to Lock show that's on the premium. But we'll be discussing that game as the more. If I have an idea that A.J. Brown's going to look good, I think you lay it here with Philly. My numbers are going to tell me to lay it with Philly. I'm just worried that this team that's been relatively healthy all season, the Philadelphia Eagles, first of all, they've had an easy schedule, but they've stayed healthy. They've stayed healthy. That's been a big part. Now these injuries are starting to come, and they're clusters, right? The two most important pass catchers at the same time. Couple D linemen at the same time. And 7 points is a lot in the NFL, especially for a Colts team that they have a pretty good roster. Now, I know Shaquille Leonard's out for the year, but they haven't had him all year. So any numbers or any projections that you're running are going to account for the loss of Leonard. And overall, this is a good team. This line is blocking better. Jonathan Taylor looked good again. I think you can make great arguments on both sides. Chat, help me out. Where are you going here on this Eagles and the Colts game? Because I think this one, it's actually a lot more interesting than the last game. I'll tell you that much. It's a lot more interesting than talking about the Ravens and the Panthers. So let's go ahead and look at some of the trends. The game's gone over in 5 of Philadelphia's last 6 games. Total of 45 here, right? So right in that middle range here. 45 is like the new 41 for totals for your older listeners, right? 41. So 45 is a pretty standard total here. Philadelphia 1-6 in their last 7 against Indy. Like I said, we're throwing those out, especially because their coach used to be Frank Reich, who knew the Eagles really well. And of course, the turnover is so much now. Let's throw that stupid trend out. I don't even know why I read it. Indianapolis is 4-8 against the spread in their last 12. That's pretty well relevant. And the fact this total's gone under in 13 of Indy's last 15 games. And I think this really speaks to, number one, their offensive ineptitude. I still don't think that Matt Ryan's that good. I think he's a lot better than Sam Ehlinger, who I don't even think is a good backup. So the idea that they were starting him was just ludicrous. But they should be running the ball a lot. So I can see why, first of all, this team can't move the ball through the air. They also like to run the ball. Jonathan Taylor's looking good, though. You have to feel good. So Richie Smollett likes the Eagles in a close one, and I can definitely see why he's going there. I thought this was going to be a huge bounce back spot. Give me that A.J. Brown news before we fully commit. The Washington Commanders coming off that big win. We talk about letdown spots. Is this going to be a letdown? Going into Houston, taking on the Texans. What an interesting team this Houston Texans team is. They just, they give you flashes, but they just really never get things done. I don't know if I want to lay 3 on the road with this Washington team, though. Washington is 5-5 now. They're 4-0-1 against the spread in their last 5. They've gone under 6 of their last 8 games. Houston's 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 games. They're 1-10-1 straight up at home. So you can see why the Commanders are favored. Houston has not been protecting their home field. And then let's look at the matchup. What does Houston really want to do? They want to run the ball with Dameon Pierce. Here's the issue. They can't stop the run on the other side. And I think that Ron Rivera and the Commanders will lean into that. I don't absolutely love that spot. I think the public is going to really like the Commanders here coming off a big win. Is this going to be one of those sneaky ones that kills all the parlays? Brandon thinks that Nico Collins is going to be huge. And I can see why. I have no idea what's going on with Brandon Cooks. The guy gets traded every year. He doesn't get traded one year. And he throws a fit, but he's not out there for the team. Davis Mills has definitely regressed for this Houston Texans team. Still, this is a tricky one. Definitely a letdown spot coming off that huge win. Let's see what I put in the playbook when I put this one up. What did I project this game at? Excuse me. Sorry for the delay. Usually those guys are talking while I'm looking this stuff up, right? I didn't even put the projection in yet. Okay. I'm a little behind on this game. That's fine. I'm fine staying away from this game. If you guys in the chat absolutely love a spot here, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear where you're going to go with this game. I think it's going to be a pretty low handle on this game overall. I think a game that people are going to be excited to bet is the New England Patriots, who are minus 3.5 going against the New York Jets. Why is that? Because the Patriots always beat the Jets. They always beat the Jets. I mean, Bill Belichick does well against young quarterbacks. He always beats the Jets. All the trends are going in the right way, which is why they threw that hook in there, right? They threw the hook in there to get you off it, because this game opened at 3 and the money came in on New England. Let me see where I projected this at. See, I projected this as like a 6-point win for the Patriots. I really like the Patriots here. It just a couple things from Tyler's notes here. They're both coming off bye weeks. The Jets team has to rely on defense and Zach Wilson to lead the victory. The run game's definitely declined with the loss of Breece Hall. Now, James Robinson and Michael Carter are good, but Breece Hall was absolutely electric. Pats, hey, kind of reminding us of how the Titans looked last night, right? This is just a good, solid, fundamental defense that plays their position, plays their gaps, and most importantly, they make tackles. Now, I didn't start off it last night, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this, and I'm not the one who saw it initially, but once you hear this, and I'm kind of bouncing around, I'm by myself, the Tennessee Titans don't miss tackles. And once I've said it, now you're going to watch the game, and you're going to notice too, and it's like, the whole, I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it because the Tennessee Titans don't miss tackles. It feels like the New England Patriots are the same way. And that's why coaching is so important in the NFL. And I know Robert Saleh has done a great job. But a lot of times I think that unless you're Belichick, unless you're Vrabel, and maybe Tomlin. I mean, Tomlin really needs TJ Watt, right? But you need defensive talent to look good. Saleh's defenses didn't look good. Then they absolutely nailed the draft. Made some good pickups. Now the defense looks good. Has he changed that much as a coach since last year? I don't think so. We got a coaching edge here. I think I have the stronger defense with the Patriots, and of course, just the history. Do you want to bet on a streak to end? If you bet on a streak, you can keep winning. A streak's only going to end once. Go ahead and give me the New England Patriots. All right, yeah, okay. They beat Buffalo. That's fine. And they did. And hey, I can miss this one, right? You guys watched the show before. It's not like I get every pick right. But I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue to ride the streak. Give me the New England Patriots. Of all the games we've talked about, this is the one I feel strongest about. And if Tyler was here, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the chat, I'm just wondering, do you think that there's buyback? I mean, so first of all, it's at 3.5 right now. There's no hurry for me to bet it. What's it going to do? Go to 4? Okay. There's way better chance because right now it's minus 115 to the 3.5 on Bookmaker. Then it moves back to 3. Maybe a lot of, the old school guys, the guys my age that just always take the 3.5 in road games will buy us back. We know it opened at 3, and we know that books will put a number back where it was rather than go to a brand new number. So they already have exposure on 3. I'm sure they'll be happy to go back if they come in on the Jets 3.5. And if they do, I absolutely love it. Give me the New England Patriots here. Let's go to our next game on the docket. The Detroit Lions are +3. They're in New York taking on the Giants. Giants, another team that your numbers aren't going to like, right? Because they don't do very well on first down percentage. They don't do very well when it comes to yards per play. They get a ton of turnovers. They come from behind in most games. But guess what, guys? They just continue to win. And I was against the Giants in the beginning of the year, and Joey Work was dancing on my grave when I kept betting against them. Excuse me. I am not making that mistake again. What's up to my guys in the chat? Richie Smalls, remind you to smash that like. Robert knows what time it is. It's time to win. Ailson, like the chat. And my guy Bill Miner, what's up, man? Kurt's not with us today, but I appreciate you hanging out here on Talking Touchdowns, brought to you by Run Pure Sports. So, the Giants -3. It's going to go to 3.5. It's minus 119 right now. So I guess if you like that one, you can get in right away. Detroit Lions, they got lucky, but I don't want to overplay that, right? It almost feels like everybody wants to play this got lucky card and downgrade teams that are making plays. You know what though? They actually they won the game. You could say there's so many games. You could have said the Bears got lucky if they would have ended up winning that game, right? If the kicker makes the kick. So many different things could have happened. Of course, Justin Fields throwing that huge interception to Okudah. That was rough. And that really cost them the game just as much as the missed kick. So a lot of things went wrong for the Bears. It felt like a lot of things been going wrong here. But now you got the Lions coming off 2 wins in a row, going against a New York team that doesn't get good statistics, They're not good on DVOA. So you know what's good though? New York Giants may not be good on DVOA, but having Tyler with me is good. Tyler, what's up, man? I was trying to do this on my own, but there's a lot of games I didn't have a lot of thoughts on. I was actually using the playbook and some of your notes earlier. Let me go ahead. I've already broken down the games, but let me just give you the ones that I've talked about really quickly. First of all, how you doing, Tyler? Sorry,
I'm good.
I'm in a panic. When you're doing a show by yourself, you just got to keep the words going. You don't want the dead air.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely right about that. I figured you had Kurt. That's why I woke up a little late. I was like, I'll take a couple minutes to get there.
Kurt's in Disneyland or something. Kurt's in Disneyland. Something. I don't know. Anyways, we don't have Kurt this morning, but I'm here with Tyler. The first game I talked about was the Ravens and the Panthers. I went off the playbook. I said that I projected the Ravens to win by 14, but I wasn't necessarily comfortable laying it with the team that is not that potent on offense. Same time, do I really want to take a Panthers team that could be dead? Baker Mayfield back in the lineup. I thought this game was a complete stay away. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I agree. It's Baltimore pass here.
Then it's easy to pass, right?
Yeah, could agree there.
Okay, well, let's just move on. Screw that game. Philadelphia Eagles and the Indianapolis Colts. I thought this was the most interesting one that I discussed before you got on. I basically just said that, hey, we love the Eagles to bounce back, but there's injury concerns for the Eagle. Mainly for me, Goddard and A.J. Brown really hurt this Eagles offense, especially when you're laying points on the road. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, a bit, but they're Philly. It's the Colts. I'm going to follow that Vegas trend we found. So,
read that one off again. Thank you.
Every team that's visited Vegas and played the Raiders in Vegas, or I believe they're 6-16 ATS their last 22, 0-7 the last 7. So we're going to follow that trend, and we're just going to take Philly here, and hopefully the Colts come out flat. Hopefully they spent their weekend partying in Vegas.
Yeah, we'll see. It's an interesting spot there with the Colts, right? How much of a bump do we give them? Obviously, Saturday and Matt Ryan means a lot. Maybe Saturday's just really good at those locker room speeches. I can't imagine how much he could have implemented. But the fact that they upgraded from a guy that, to me, is a bottom backup to, Matt Ryan, at least he's one of the worst starters in the league. At least you can argue he's starter caliber. He knows the offense. He can throw the ball. Huge upgrade there. But, yeah, so let's go ahead and play your trend. Philadelphia bouncing back. You're not concerned about A.J. Brown like I am, huh?
No, I think they'll be all right. They got a couple other wide receivers that can handle some of that usage.
Like who? Devontae Smith?
Yeah, Smith can take it. Watkins can take it. And it's the Colts we're talking about, too. It's not like they're playing a very good team.
I made the argument that I didn't think the Colts roster is really that bad. It's really been the issues of the quarterback play and then Jonathan Taylor not looking like himself, but he looked pretty good, albeit against the Raiders.
Yeah, I just don't think they're all that good.
All right. Well, you're happy to fade the Colts. I talked about the Commanders and the Texans. This is another one that I thought was a stay away. I thought the Commanders could have a letdown coming off, what would be their biggest win of the year. But then again, the Texans aren't that good. They're 1-10 in their last 12 home games. And this is not against the spread. This is straight up, right? The team just not winning. Davis Mills isn't looking good. And, of course, Brandon Cooks doesn't even want to play for their team. I don't know. Doesn't this feel like, would you be surprised if the Texans covered here? I don't know. What do you think?
That's complete stay away from me. I ain't betting that dumpster fire game.
Yeah, let's just move on. I don't think anyone is. I bet she's going to have a low handle. I said I wanted the Patriots over the Jets, and I said that I'm not going to bet it now. It's -3.5, but it opened at 3. I think it has a chance to go back to 3, and I'd love it at 3. Still at 3.5, I'll go ahead and lay it, dude. Patriots always beat the Jets. I'm going to continue to bet that streak. Hey, eventually I'll lose, but I'm going to make a lot of money until then, and I don't think the streak ends this year. What do you think?
I'm right with you. Give me the Patriots here. I'm not backing Zach Wilson when the run game's pretty much dead. He's not throwing on this defense. Their defense might be able to limit the Patriots, but I see Wilson making more mistakes in the end. So give me the Patriots here.
All right, now we'll slow down a little bit because these are the games that I haven't really covered. So when I brought you back on, I was talking about the Giants and the Lions. The Lions, they might not win, but they're an ATS darling. 12-6 against the spread in the last 18 games. Their defense sucks. The game's gone over in 8 of their last 11 games. Of course, they never win. They're 2-5 straight up in their last 7 games, but they were 0-5. They're on a 2-game winning streak here. The Giants, I think that we're getting value here because all the advanced metrics don't like the Giants because they don't have good yards per play. Their DVOA sucks. They get a lot of turnovers, a lot of fourth quarter comebacks. They're just not very good statistically. But you get the better coach. I don't know. What do you think? Better quarterback? I mean, definitely better running back and probably the better coach defense. Definitely more talent on the defensive end. Why wouldn't I lay it here with the Giants, especially with the Lions coming off 2 wins?
I'm right with you. Give me the Giants here. Their coach also does he doesn't overthink things, spread. Like last week, he played Houston, the worst run defense in the league. He ran Saquon 35 times.
Yeah.
Now they play the 31st worst rush defense. You got to think they're just going to run the ball again. So his props, I like
Saquon season on DFS.
Him to score a touchdown and win. I like that.
Yeah.
If you can't get that bet though, I do like laying the 3 here. I think the Giants smash them. I think they'll do more what we thought Chicago was going to do to them. That's pressure Goff and make them in tough situations outside in New York in the weather. I don't see Goff winning this game.
Dude, we have so many dumpster fire games this week. Now the LA Rams are taking on the New Orleans Saints. You have to gamble or be a fan of the team to watch this game, right? Do you have any interest in this game at all? Now, I think that Matt Stafford's going to be back, which will, I guess, make me have some interest in the Rams. But without Cooper Kupp, how good is this team going to be? Allen Robinson season? I don't know, man. I thought he was going to be good going into the year. He's been absolutely nothing for this team. This offensive line can't block. Seems like a good get-right spot for the Saints, but the books agree, having them lay 3 points on a total of 39. Tyler, what are your thoughts here on the Rams and the Saints? I know you're low on the Rams, but it's not like the Saints are anything to write home about.
Yeah, it's another bad matchup. If I was betting this game, though, which I'm not, I would take the Saints.
Okay, if I forced you to bet, would you rather bet this game or the Commanders-Texans?
I'd rather just take this game and fade the Rams.
Okay. You're going to
No Cooper Kupp. If they beat me, they beat me.
Quoting Big T. Let's talk about, I like this game, though. The Chicago Bears are +3 in Atlanta taking on the Falcons. Total of 49. There we go. Now they'll probably have some DFS interest on the Sunday morning shows that I already gave the shout out to. But guys, I'm shouting out the chat right now. Please give us the thumbs up as we continue to talk touchdowns here on Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. Tyler, I like the Bears, man. I think I'm high on the Bears, man. I know you don't like Justin Fields, but I mean Mariota's terrible. And how much different are these teams otherwise, besides the quarterbacks, right? They both don't really have very good defenses. I guess the Falcons have better weapons offensively, but they don't use them. They just run the ball. So it doesn't matter that you have 2 of the best pass catchers in the NFL, right? I mean, I like the Bears catching the points here. What do you think?
I'm on the other side of you. Give me the Falcons here. Everyone wants to get on the new shiny toy in the Bears. All they really do is run the quarterback. Like, they're not doing anything very...
Yeah, but the Falcons did pretty well doing that when they had Michael Vick.
Yeah, but was Michael Vick going around saying his legs were tired in practice all week before the game? I don't think so.
I didn't hear that quote.
Yeah, he said his legs are getting tired in practice. He doesn't want to run much in practice. You got to think he's getting tired.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you got to think he's getting tired from carrying this team. Give me the Falcons here. Everyone wants to bet on the Bears. I think the Falcons come in, defend home field.
You're talking me off, but why would he say that? He's like the talk of the NFL right now, and it's not because of his arm.
Yep. He said his legs.
Who's sitting there? I got to look more into this. All right. He really said that.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find it again.
Unbelievable. Wow. It's the only good thing they have going for their team. He's sitting here breaking records. He's the talk of the NFL. Wow.
It says this was as a day ago. He said, my legs felt heavy, so they tapered back in practice. They're tapering back everything in practice.
It's not as bad as you made it sound.
I mean, it said he says that they will be tapering back at practice this week. My legs just felt heavy after the game. The guys on the strength test said my workload has been pretty high. He's rushed the ball 28 times in 2 weeks. That's not something a quarterback should do.
You can't if you can't throw the ball.
But he can throw the ball.
Well,
Go find me a scouting report that told me this kid could run. You're not going to find one.
Well, he's got like 4.3 speed. He's fast.
He's fast, but this kid was supposed to be a pocket passer with great accuracy when he came out of college. Nobody thought he was going to be Michael Vick.
Yeah, I did the wagering world with 5-star right before we jumped on, Tyler, and he was on the Falcons too. So you guys have talked me off it.
You guys have talked me off. Me and him, we're getting that Falcons ticket home.
All right. You talked me off it. You know what? I mean, really, is my life going to be any worse if I don't bet on the Chicago Bears?
And the thing is
am I going to have any regrets if I don't bet on the Chicago Bears?
No. And then the other thing too is like Fields still makes those young mistakes. Like we seen in the Detroit game, he threw a key pick six that
to Akuda, it was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, in the end, kind of gave them the chance to win the game, and they went ahead and did that. So I could see him doing it again here. I think this game stays close. I know we're shitting on Mariota, but like outside of that Thursday night game, he's just been what he's always been. That's just
well, I'm saying the coach is shitting on him. He gives him like 12 attempts per game.
Yeah, it's just the way they run their system too. They're just run. They're just going to run the ball. Like I don't think if they had Ritter in there, they'd be throwing it anymore. So I think they just played with their system. I don't see why
they're not playing Ritter.
Because he sucks.
He must suck.
He's always sucked.
Robert, our guy, he has a good point. He says Fields has one player he trusts, and that's Cole Kmet. Hey, if Kmet's out, yeah, he's going to take first half Bears, second half Falcons. That's an interesting look. I wonder why he's thinking that. All right, let's go on. And did you see our guy right side, Clyde? He's listening to you, Tyler. He's money line. He's making a money line parlay of the teams that you like. He's putting the Falcons. He's felt it like Flacco. It was unbelievable. And the Giants so far. Man, I don't know if I even trust the Falcons, though. I think we can find safer spots. The Las Vegas Raiders are taking on the Denver Broncos. The Las Vegas Raiders suck. What a disappointment. Thank God the Kings are good. Thank God we have that beam going on. But here's the deal. The Raiders always beat the Broncos. Like, we match up with them so well. You know that little stat that's going around? The Broncos would be 8-1 if they scored 18 points or more, right, in every game. Who's the one team that they would have lost against? The Raiders. The Raiders always beat this team. And as shitty as this team has been, I think they're going to do it again. I think the Broncos are terrible.
I agree. And our breakdown on the playbook says one positive to look at here in this one, even though the Raiders are 2-8 straight up last 10, they are 9-1 ATS last 10 versus Denver, 5-0 last 5 trips to Denver to play them. Just feels like they have their number. We see this sometimes in the NFL, similar to last week's Green Bay-Dallas game. Give me the Raiders money line. They're just going to beat this team.
And they lost. Do you think I want to bet on this team?
They lost Jerry Jeudy last week too. Like their offense just looked like it died. I know it was against the Titans with a little bit of a better defense, but I think the Raiders come in. They're able to run the ball. Adams will get open. They'll win this game.
And I think that they're not liking your quarterback matters. Look at Washington, right? Nobody liked Wentz. They had Heineke. Heineke's not as good, but the team's playing better, right? Do you think these guys really like Russ? High knees and the freaking on the airplane. No. I mean, come on. And he's making it a grip.
Is there any chance they put all the chains around Russ if they win this game?
No.
I say no.
No.
That's how we're going to start factoring in the quarterback love. Are they going to ice the guy out on the plane if they win?
That's a good metric. We'll have to add that one to the NFL model. Let's talk about a game that I think that
I heard something on a podcast spread yesterday. It made me laugh because I didn't hear it during the broadcast, but if they were calling him this was great. They said they were calling Kirk Cousins Kurt Thuggins during the game.
And did you hear him on Manningcast? Like he's so freaking like Christian and like white bread. You know what pissed me off on that Manningcast? As long as we're just going on huge tangents here now that I got you on here. Cousins actually asked them a good question, and then Peyton Manning ignored the question to go to some pre-segment. They're ruining this Manningcast by trying to make it for everybody. It needs to be for diehard football fans. I only want to hear about them beating cover zero, audibly into runs. I don't want to hear them. Hey, you did the gritty. So Cousins said, hey, what plays did you like to call when you knew you had cover zero? He didn't answer and went into a segment about Kirk Cousins doing the gritty. It's like, come on, Peyton. That's not why we're watching the show. Like, you're not Dave Chappelle. Like, you know more about football than us. That's why we're watching.
They did that other stream last night during the Thursday night game. I don't know if you caught that. It was just with LeBron and those three.
I can't do it because it was LeBron, but I saw all the clips and I'm thinking like, dang.
And I was gonna say, I wonder if that one's any better than the Manningcast.
It didn't seem like they
hate
were
the
talking about
Manningcast.
football, but did you see they were talking? First of all, Jalen Ramsey says that
They brought up the LeBron jokes. That was great.
Yeah,
and
he also said that he couldn't catch on him in the red zone, which is something that I would love to see. I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. I just can't do LeBron. Like he's just for being so it's unbelievable that the guy could be so good at basketball and so bad at everything else. How can you be that talented and not be the most popular? It's just a testament. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I just can't do LeBron. So I don't know. Maybe if they check it out. I don't know. Even the Manningcast, like I said, as soon as the guests come on, it's just like it's ruined. It's only good when it's just him and Eli actually talking about the football and the plays. Yeah. And I don't mind them roasting each other here and there, but I don't know. I don't like those pre-produced segments are just so bad. And you see that you can hear someone in Peyton's ear telling him he's got to get to him. But the game that we're talking about now is the Steelers, Tyler. I think we might be on the same side because you sent me a trend that made me feel like Daniel Bryan. Yes. So here's two things. TJ Watt in, Jamar Chase out. Give me the Steelers.
That's it. You're not going to factor in the guy that had the pick six, like 8 tackles, couple tackles for loss, a forced fumble last game, who's not there.
Who, Minka?
Yeah.
I mean, I should be factoring him.
Yeah, and then that trend I sent you too is like I'd like to dig a little deeper into that because I'm pretty sure a couple of those losses were to Cincinnati, and they beat this team.
No, they always beat Cincinnati.
Not always, Fred. That second matchup last year, right around this time of the year, Steelers were reeling. Cincinnati came in. I think they hung 40 on them in this matchup. It's like 40-20.
Okay.
I think you might get something like that on Sunday. I mean, Cincinnati looks like they're rolling. The run game got going last time. What was it? Mixon put up 4 or 5 touchdowns in that last game they played. Something ridiculous like that. Their cornerstone could be able to cover these receivers even without Chase. Give me Cincinnati here, spread.
Oh man, so you sent me that trend.
That was just to get you all worked up, yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a switcheroo.
We're not
I don't care. I'm still taking the Steelers, dude. Team Tomlin until I die. I'm getting +4 at home. TJ Watt's back.
You see my other tweet I sent you?
Which one?
It was from that picture from the movie where the guy's like, "Look at me, I'm the captain now."
Oh yeah, the Kings.
It's the Kings logo looking at the other 3 teams in the division, telling them, "I run this shit."
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Now it begins. It begins. So we made it 35 minutes without me getting roasted on the show. But now Jonathan Nelson's trying to push my buttons. Nobody agrees with you, Jonathan Nelson. Yeah, and you did. You got me all excited. You got me thinking we were going to be arm in arm with the Yinzers. But no, you're going to take the team with the good quarterback and the good defense. And the better wide receivers and the better offense.
If I had to power rank like fan bases I don't like, somewhere in that top 5 would be the Yinzers and Bills Mafia. I can't stand either one of them.
What's wrong with Bills Mafia?
It's just annoying.
How do you like the Raiders fan base?
I mean, just don't mess with them. They'll beat the shit out of you. I swear every time you see Raiders fans, they're in the stands beating the hell out of each other. You know what's funny is it's San Fran and Raiders fans when they get together. It's just like they don't mix. They just
that's what I was gonna say. The Raiders fans actually had the worst, and now this has changed because they're in Santa Clara now, and it's But before when they played at like Candlestick, that's like right in the heart of like Hunters Point, which is not a nice area of San Francisco. It was more dangerous to go to the Niners game, but the Niners had that wine and cheese style. But it wasn't that case, right? I mean, there was just as much violence going down there out at Candlestick. Now, of course, it's a much safer experience, much more. It's what's the right word? Like when there's bleach everywhere. It's not a good experience at Santa Clara.
Did you guys sanitize the area? Is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it's just not fun anymore. Like, I don't know. It's sterile. It's a sterile environment. That's the word I'm looking for. Josh Gillum says, "Am I the only person who didn't know Buffalo's in New York?" Yeah, probably. Probably.
I still wish they would have let that game get played in the snow.
Did they move it?
It's in Detroit.
It's moved for sure?
Yeah, they're playing
I didn't talk about it. It's not on my board.
They're playing it in a dome, and then Thursday night, Josh Allen turns around and plays Detroit in the same dome.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to that game real quick. Yeah, I can't believe you bamboozled me there. All right. Someone will get to victory lap on Monday. Either Team Tomlin or I won't even be able to victory lap Jimmy G because he's going to be playing Monday night. We'll be breaking that down on Talking Touchdowns with Title on Monday. Brought to you by RunPureSports.com. Give us a thumbs up. Buffalo Bills -8 with a total of 50. Now that they're in the dome, you got to like the Bills for get back, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're due for a win. If they pull away from this team, I don't see Cleveland throwing their way back into this game.
You used to love the Browns too.
My big worry here, though, is like the two teams, Buffalo and Philly, I think their weak points are their run defenses. Like, if you just run the ball at them, I think that's how you beat them.
Right. I think a lot of teams are like that, though, because they switched to the new too high.
If Josh Allen doesn't get out to a lead quickly and Chubb just starts running rampant, this could get ugly and in the Browns' favor very quickly. But inside a dome, I think it's just going to favor them too much. So give me Buffalo here. They're going to hang 30 here too. So like, give me the over. I don't even. It's what's it at now? 49.5. I still think it goes over. I think they're putting up 31.
I think you got a great point, though. But a lot of teams have the weaker run defense because, number one, the linebackers are smaller and faster, and they're made more now for coverage. They love using them in the coverage zones. They're not as much the tacklers, like my guy Mike Vrabel. Yes.
How do you feel about my thoughts of playing this? If they wouldn't have moved this football game, they should have did it like a hockey game. Instead of breaking the game into quarters, break it into halves, and at halftime, send out a plow truck and just clear the field off. Come back again after halftime.
It sucks that they're not playing.
They're supposed to get 6 foot of snow. So, like, at some point during that game, it was just going to be too much on the field. So, you got to clear it off and just let the guy.
That would have been so tight. I still can't believe they didn't play it there.
That would have been great.
Yeah, but just to my original point, if everyone using these base nickel packages, running the ball, it's going to make a resurgence.
Yeah.
Because all these linebackers are set for coverage. And the run defense just isn't the same. And I think it's easier for these offensive linemen. The thing that sucks about running the ball is these holding penalties absolutely kill you. They absolutely kill you. 10 yards for this holding is absolutely terrible. All right. I'm still getting roasted in the chat. Hey, nice to see you too, Spencer. All right. Anything more on the Bills? I know we've been going quick today, but we got the NBA rundown here coming up soon. And I've kind of ignored the props section. I'm assuming there's probably not props in this one, though.
No, nothing up yet. But I haven't really done much of my numbers either on props. I'll be doing those in the next 2 days. They'll all be on the spreadsheet, or not on the spreadsheet. Some will be on there. Most will be in the playbook.
The NFL playbook on runpurebets.com. If you're a Run Pure Sports member, make sure you're checking out the playbook. Go over to the bets tab, and it's under NFL playbook. It gives you my projections. Well, Tyler helps me with the projections, right? But I'm the first one to start, but then he runs over for me when I accidentally screw them up. We give you the tag on what we will play for each game. Tyler gives you the props, gives you the player performance doubles, and then we give some notes on what we think of the games, why the projections, hey, sometimes they'll say, hey, I don't like the projections of this game because, like, for example, Cincinnati, how many games has Chase missed so far? Right? So,
yeah, that is very true.
It's hard to trust a Cincinnati projection. And then the opposite, I would say that Pittsburgh is underprojected because TJ Watt is just the man. All right. So we accidentally agree on the Bills. I don't know. Maybe the Browns +8 will have some merit. We'll think about that one a little more. I didn't even know they moved it. It was kind of up in the air.
It'd be a solid teaser spot, too, because you said you see 8. I see 7, so you can knock it down to 1.
All right.
I don't hate that.
Let's talk about the play that I absolutely love. The Minnesota Vikings. How are they home dogs? Oh, wow. Their stats aren't good. Oh, wow. I mean, I don't see why people run down the Vikings and the Giants when they just keep winning. Oh, their DVOA is not good. Oh, well. Are the Cowboys that good? Are the Cowboys really that good? I mean,
their pass rush is.
Tyler, are you worried though? It's in the 1 o'clock. It's not 10 a.m.
A little bit. And the other thing I'm worried about too, Spread, is like when you watch that Buffalo game, yeah, Kurt made some nice plays to Justin Jefferson. But if you rewind it just a little bit to when he's getting ready to throw it, how confident are you when you're watching your quarterback throw the ball and cower in fear as he lets it go? Like he's just throwing it, turning and ducking, and just hoping Justin Jefferson comes up with it because he knows he's getting ready to get hit. Now he plays a pass rush that's even better in Dallas. If he starts throwing up passes like that, yeah, Justin Jefferson could come down with them. But if that variance goes the other way a little bit and guys like Diggs start snagging them, taking them the other way, Minnesota's not going to have the game they had last week. They also
balanced offense, though. Why aren't we going to just run the ball against them?
I don't think they're going to be able to do that much either. So
why would they not be able to run against the Dallas Cowboys defense that hasn't been good against the run? And what's the best way to stop a pass rush? Run the damn ball.
I agree, but I don't see them running very effectively against this Dallas team.
With Dalvin Cook?
Nope. I mean, outside of him busting that 80-yard run, I don't see it.
Hot take season. Brandon's with you. He says Dallas owns Kurt because he's worse for his man coverage. Jonathan Nelson says, my highlight of the week is hearing Tyler bash the Vikings every week. Oh, I thought it was coming in here with terrible LeBron takes, Jonathan Nelson. But, hey, good to see you, my man. I haven't seen you for a while. We're going to have to rectify that. Cousins rated number 1 against the blitz, I believe. I don't have those stats, but my guess is it's Patrick Mahomes because they won't even blitz him.
Yeah,
the one team that tried got
they don't even try that man anymore.
Raiders, we're so smart. Yeah, we're going to blitz Mahomes.
They're like, listen, nobody else tries this.
Yeah.
Blitz him.
Yeah, he won't be ready for it.
A quarter and a half later, they're like, let's never do that again.
Yeah, blitzing him is like taking a fat guy to the buffet. Unbelievable, man. I can't believe they didn't expect that. So, all right, so you like Dallas there, huh? And we're gonna be head to head again.
I think it's a close game. Dallas's offense is also, I think, can keep just up with Minnesota's if it becomes a shootout. Dak had 2 costly picks last game. It was also a weird matchup against Green Bay where they were due for a loss. I think they come back here. Offense comes to play. Defense makes Kurt's life a living hell. They win the game, knock the Vikings back down a little bit.
All right, I can't wait to talk to you about this one on Talking Touchdowns because this is one of my favorite plays of the week. I love the Vikings here. Seems like the chat is kind of.
We're talking about it on Talking Touchdowns right now, spread.
I know, but we'll see who's right.
You mean on Monday when we do the review show? Yeah,
on the review show. We're going to go ahead, and one of us is going to be able to victory lap, and one of us will have to hang down our head like Tom Dooley, all in shame. The Kansas City Chiefs are now -5.5. This moved a half a point since I did my show earlier today. They're taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. This is Sunday Night Football. The total is 53. Chiefs, very good, but not always good against the spread. Do you think Herbert's able to get it done here?
I do not, and I'm kind of a little upset that the numbers moved off the teaser point because I was really looking forward to using it as the Super Bowl.
You could just throw it in the Moneyline Parlay.
You could, but I wanted to do them in San Fran and call it the Super Bowl matchup teaser because I think that's what the Super Bowl is going to end up being.
Oh, wow.
And them at 6 and San Fran sitting at 8. You knock them down to pick them in -2, and then you just lay the hammer on that, and that's where you win the money this week. But now they're off those 6. So we're probably going to have to do that with the money line parlay, but I do think they win this game. I don't see the Chargers really keeping up. The wide receivers, maybe Mike Williams plays. He could be a factor. I am not worried about Keenan Allen one bit. You can tell me he's going to play all you want. Tell me he's going to be a factor. Until he's out there running around and actually doing something.
I don't think he's going to play. I think he's done for the year.
I think he's done. They said he's trying to play. Not worried about it. So unless Eckler just eats this team up, they're going to walk away with this game. Give me the Chiefs.
I wish it wasn't in primetime. I swear primetime makes me like dogs more.
This is Kadarius Toney coming out show too. No Juju, no Valdez-Scantling, I believe. Or no, it's no Juju, no Hart.
Wait, no Schuster?
Yeah. Did you not watch him die last week? He got picked up off his feet, spread. He was laying stiffer than some of the
UFC play last week?
The Jags.
I didn't watch that game.
The same guy knocked Juju out of the game, and then a couple plays later knocked Marquez Valdez-Scantling out of the game.
What? Oh, that game they almost covered at the end, right?
They said
it wasn't very close, right?
They said he was just out there hunting Chiefs receivers that day. He's just trying to kill everybody.
Well, good for him. That's what defensive players are supposed to do. In my day,
and then Ronnie Lott. When he hit Juju, it looked like it was a dirty hit at first. They threw the flag. Then they look at the replay, and the refs walk out while he's laying there stiff on the field, and they go, "There's no penalty on the play. That was a clean hit," and just walk away as they're stretching. They're picking him up off his back and putting him on the stretcher.
So even without your favorite Steelers receiver, you like this team here, huh?
Yep. Kadarius Toney, he's going to blow up this game.
All right. Well, guess what, Tyler? We made it in time.
The other thing too, I think it's pretty funny. Have you ever seen the pictures where it's like there'll be like the evolution of like athletes? It'll be like a very small guy, and then it's like he grows into like a bigger guy. Like they did it was like Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson. his final form was John Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot tell me that the smaller version of George Pickens is Kadarius Toney.
Wow. All right. I'll have to. The
They're
smaller version of George
Yes.
Pickens?
Like if Kadarius Toney was to evolve, and like grow, get bigger, like
You mean the George Pickens is part of the
Yes.
Pittsburgh Steelers who are
Yes.
going to cash +4 against the Cincinnati Bengals this week?
like you probably like there's like it's a Pokemon reference from like a thing that was when I was a kid. There was
Yeah.
it was a Pokemon called Squirtle. It was like the real little turtle.
I liked him. That was my favorite one.
There was a big one called Blastoise. Like Blastoise is George Pickens, Squirtle's Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, Holden just showed up in the chat. Tanner Hudson, 2+ touchdowns, lock it in. This has to be Kurt. Kurt's in the chat from Disneyland. Yeah, totally not the FBI. All right, Tyler, let's give out our best bet for the day. What's your best bet? Then we're going to get into the NBA rundown.
Let me look through the board again real quick if you want to give yours.
Let's see. Who do I want to go head-to-head with you against? I'd love to take the Steelers, but let's just be smart. Let's just take the Minnesota Vikings. You hear that, Jonathan Nelson? So take your LeBron take somewhere else. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're underrated because they don't do good statistically, but this team just finds a way to win. Unlike you, I do think that Dalvin Cook will be able to establish the run. That should take some of the pressures off Cousins. And if this team gets a lead, they're going to be tough to deal with. If they fall behind, they have the best weapon in the game, especially with Cooper Kupp out, to go ahead and make that comeback in Justin Jefferson. So, I think Dallas might be a little overrated. They're relying on their defense, but I think Minnesota has the offensive versatility to keep them on their toes, and I like the Vikings to continue their win streak. Yeah, we were wrong on Christian Watson. Tyler, who's your best bet?
We're gonna back the Giants. We're gonna get on the Joey Work train. His team's gonna get a W after his boy Corey Anderson wins tonight and gets that belt. And then on Sunday, his team's gonna turn around and get the W for us there and cover that -3.
Sounds like a plan. There you have it. We are Talking Touchdowns, brought to you by RunPureSports.com. Give us the thumbs up. We'll be back in about 8 minutes with the NBA rundown. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, Lively Chat, for helping me out. Carry the show. We're having a great time here. Run Pure.